I think we were all on Twitter yesterday. Golf Twitter absolutely exploded with this. It seems like golf fans everywhere just loved watching it. But for you, what made it such a compelling 18 holes of golf?
For me, it was really you just didn't know what was going to happen next, especially with the amateur portion of it. It could have been a shank. It could have been a hole out. It could be ripped pants. And I think that's what made you want to continue to watch it. Looking forward to the alternate shot portion, you were just thinking, as poorly as it got started, what was that going to look like? So for me, it was just the element of not knowing what we were going to see next.
I love it. You're absolutely right. Now, guys, let's get to the action. Let's talk a little bit of Tiger Woods, because this was the first time that we'd seen him since February. Concerningly, he did withdraw from the players ahead of time, citing back issues. But yesterday, Woods was back. He didn't present any issues on the swing, looking back on track as he often played from the fairway, and was able to shape those shots around medalists. So, Robert Damron, was Tiger Woods better than you expected yesterday?
I would say par for the course. I mean, first and foremost, it was raining. There was a delay. So if every round he plays from now on, everyone's going to keep an eye on how he's moving, his back. How does he look? Does he look like he's swinging full? Is he over on the side stretching when he's not hitting? So relieved to see him swinging well. The driver was spot on. It was beautiful. But he was also a little bit rusty. I mean, the short irons were bad. He had a couple really non-Tiger-like wedges. He putted fine, but not spectacularly. So I think that for going forward, it bodes well, but it's not like I think I can really take anything from this round other than he looked healthy.
Yeah, Robert, it didn't look like that golf course had any fairways the first few holes, except for Tiger Woods finding them. I wouldn't have thought that. So certainly was sparkling off of the tee. I really appreciated being able to see that. I, however, was a little concerned with his comments before the round when Amanda Balionis asked how his body felt. And he said, well, a 10 now is not as a 10 as it used to be. Yes, of course, that is true. But it also was concerning that he would even address that at all and not be able to confidently say that he felt like he was in good health. So I think for me, it just reiterated the fact that we're always going to have that huge question mark with Tiger Woods moving forward.
Well, maybe I'm a little dizzy with recency bias, having watched Tiger strike the golf ball off the tee yesterday, and of course watching Tiger slam last night made me dizzy even more. But the way Tiger drove the golf ball and the way he looked, I'd be surprised if he didn't win at least one of the next 6 majors. Yeah, I went there. I think major number 16 is in play. The 2 concerns I've had for Tiger Woods have been his back and have been his ability to drive the golf ball. Both were key in him winning major number 15 at the Masters. Now with 2 bites of the apple at the Masters in the next 6 major championships, which will be played between now and the summer of 2021, I saw enough yesterday to see that Tiger looks healthy, obviously relaxed, the back is strong, driving the ball through a thimble, Robert Damron.
I'll tell you, Damon, he did drive it perfectly, but it wasn't that long ago that he was withdrawing from the Players' Championship because of his back and it wasn't ready, and Bay Hill, which he typically likes to play. So, yes, you said recency bias. That's probably a little bit what it is. I'm a little concerned always, but we're always going to be concerned. I will say, Damon, though, that there's no doubt that Tiger Woods version 2020 now is actually more apt to win at Winged Foot than even the old dominant Tiger Woods. Driving it on a string like that is very important around that golf course, and he's doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the way he looks to me, he's not swinging through his shoes anymore. He doesn't have to do it. This is the Tiger Woods who hits the fadeaway jump shots like Michael Jordan is, adjusting his game as he's gotten older. And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, the fact that he's a different player right now could lend himself to be a better player at some golf courses that we didn't typically expect back at the height of his power. To me, it's all about the driver, and of course, it's about the health. If those 2 aspects of Tiger's game are in working order, look out, everybody.
And I think that Justin Thomas actually got a nice dose of that while he was walking around on course, because I'll remember this for a long time. The long iron that Tiger Woods hit towards the end of the day, that Justin Thomas kind of reiterated, hey guys, that was pretty impressive. Not everybody can hit that shot. And I think his contemporaries, his peers that are able to see him, play that kind of golf right now, I think it's going to continue to ripple through the rest of the PGA Tour.
I think everyone was just in admiration of Tiger yesterday, and I don't think we've ever heard him being called Eldrick so many times in one broadcast. JT was absolutely loving just pulling the leg of his friend Tiger Woods yesterday, and it was awesome to see him back out there and looking really well. But let's move over to Phil Mickelson, because whilst he couldn't clinch the win, social media was obviously on fire with him, and he promised to hit high bombs, and that he did on the 330-yard par 4 11th hole. He unleashed one of those high bombs, and his tee ended up just off the back edge of the green, setting up an eagle putt, which his partner Tom Brady drained. It was such a great moment. Salty, as Phil Mickelson called it. But Robert, were you more impressed about the way he sort of talked the talk, or the way he walked the walk?
He turned his game on some, but it was the talk. It made it entertaining for what this is. This is not a major championship. This is not a huge golf tournament, some kind of unbelievable competition that Phil's in. It was an exhibition. It was for charity. It was for fun. He carried that mantle extremely well. His mouth was running the whole time, as it should. Great job, but the driver was off early. He straightened it out later. He had some really, really strange iron shots. He was kind of blaming the earpiece in that somebody was making noise in his backswing. If you're dialed in, that really doesn't bother you. So I thought he wasn't quite dialed in, but the mouth, man, he's a +5 handicap with that.
There's no argument there, Robert. And what he did around the green when he was describing the chip shot that he was going to hit, because of the moisture on the grass, he was going to go into the grain, because it was going to skip. Everything about that, and there was another wedge shot he hit in where he said skip and check. It was spot on. To be able to kind of get inside Phil Mickelson's head with the short irons in the hands was pretty fun as a viewer and as an admirer of that aspect of his game.
Phil Mickelson, like Larry Bird and Reggie Miller before him, the more he talks, the better he plays. Now, is this sustainable over an entire PGA Tour season? I'm not so sure, but Phil Mickelson loves to have the money in the middle of the table, pushing buttons, flapping his gums, instructing his amateur partners as he does during pro-ams, during weeks on the PGA Tour. Phil was in his element yesterday, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Robert, this is Phil, as Damon just said there. This is him in his prime time. This is where he loves to be. But let's go to the PGA Tour. We haven't seen prime Phil in quite a while now. We've seen glimmers of it. The short game is definitely still there. When he comes back to play, do you think we can see another win from Phil coming up in the near future?
Well, near future, yes, we can. I mean, forget it. He's one of the best players that's really ever graced this planet. So, of course, we can. But, for the last going on 2 years now, we've rarely seen moments where we thought he had a chance to win or could or should win. The game's been too sporadic, and at times it's the putter, and then at times the irons aren't as sharp, and then the chipping wasn't as good at times as it is. So it almost seems like now at this phase of his life, we need to see lightning strike in a bottle. It needs to be everything working at once for Phil, whereas it used to not be that way. He could just show up and win with his short game and attitude.
I have said that Phil has one more great run in him. Perhaps we saw it already, Pebble in Saudi earlier in the year. He said it yesterday, hey, I'm going to be 50 in a few weeks. And that's a big number in PGA Tour golf. Phil's different. We know health has been his ally. The long, fluid golf swing has been his ally. But he just looks a little too inconsistent to me to win on the PGA Tour again.
Inconsistent is Phil Mickelson's middle name, though. Throughout his career, he's given us these moments of confusion and of glory. So I'm not as concerned about that. What I did like is that he did make a few putts towards the end of the day. That's really been kind of his Achilles heel the last couple of years. Has not had any strength on the greens at all. So if he can continue to sort out that putter, have a little bit more consistency on the greens, then perhaps that we'll see Phil Mickelson return to that winner's circle.
And if we can't see Phil winning again on the PGA Tour, we all know he has got a long, healthy career in entertainment and broadcasting. The man was just pure gold yesterday.